Alright, what's up YouTube? Today we're gonna be watching everything you need to know before season 2 of Tower of God by WEBTOONS. This came out a few days ago. Tower of God came out actually 2 days ago, so I'm kinda late on that, but let's get to the video. Just for a quick refresher.
Tower of God Season 2 comes out in just a few weeks, and I know what you're thinking. I saw Season 1 years ago. Is there anything I should remember or keep in mind for...
Just for your information, guys, I actually went back. I went back and rewatched Tower of God Season 1. You know, it was good.
Season 2? Yeah.
You should watch it if you haven't yet.
There's actually a lot, but it's okay, because I'm going to explain everything you need to know from Tower of God Season 1 that is going to be relevant in Tower of God Season 2. I'm going to recap all the important stuff that happened in Season 1.
Apparently, it's been like a 6-year time skip.
Things to keep in mind that are going to be relevant in Season 2. There's also timestamps down below if you want to jump to a specific thing.
Nah, we're going to watch the whole video. 12 minutes, not too bad.
To enter something called the Tower, which is essentially an entirely new world for her and this boy named Bomb. Bomb grew up in a cave. Rachel's his only friend, and so he doesn't want her to go. But what ends up happening is that Bomb creates the opening into the tower, which both...
before he continues, Bomb actually lost his memory, so he had no one like to depend on. He was just in a cave by himself, and Rachel came. He was like actually trying to get out of that cave, and Rachel came, and
he and Rachel fall into. No. This act constitutes them as irregulars. Irregulars are essentially people who were not chosen by the tower. They were people who chose to enter the tower of their own volition. On the first floor of this tower, Bomb meets Hedon, who is the primary caretaker of the tower and the guardian of the first floor. Hedon is the one who chooses who enters the tower, so he didn't choose Bomb. That makes Bomb an irregular. To explain this even further, the tower is divided into a few different sections. There's the inner tower, which is where
he's gonna have to come back to this.
To enter, climb and take tests and sort of battle it out and duke it out to see who makes it to the top and sort of ascend each floor continuously. But there's also this thing called the outer tower, and then in between the two, the middle area. These are locations where people tend to live, they get jobs, even in the inner tower. So these people who are typically climbing the tower, they all exist in the tower already. So Hedon chooses from those people who want to enter the inner tower and climb. And the people who make it to the top become rankers. Rankers are the most powerful characters in this entire story. No regular could ever hope to even stand a chance against a ranker. Bomb wants to climb the tower because he wants to find Rachel, and so he meets Yuri, who is a princess of Jihad. They're essentially from the Jihad family. Jihad is the king of the tower. Alongside him, there's the 10 great families, but he's the one in charge of them all. And Yuri is one of the princesses, so she's royalty as well as a high ranker, the top 1,000 rankers. Because she knows he's an irregular, she's interested in him, and so she gives him something called the Black March, which is one of the 13-month series weapons. They're these very special weapons that have unique properties, and they can ignite. They can sort of unleash this crazy, weird power. That's a good way to explain it, I think. So Bomb uses the Black March, he passes the test, and he makes it to floor number 2, which is called the floor of tests. There's a bunch of tests that all regulars have to take on this floor to see if they qualify for the 3rd floor. Bomb meets Kun, a strategist from one of the 10 great families, the Kun family, and he also meets Rak, this mysterious crocodilian hunter. They team up. Kun and Rak kind of complement each other. Kun is somebody who tends to overthink, but he's very good at strategy, while Rak doesn't think at all. He's very bad at strategy, but they end up kind of complementing each other, and the team does pretty well. They meet Lei Ro and a bunch of other test administrators who are all rankers, so we get to kind of see this overwhelming sort of authority and power from these characters.
Oh, if you're watching this and you haven't watched season 2, I recommend actually watching season 1 before you watch this, because like you're gonna be like confused.
And we learn about Shinsu. Shinsu is the magic system of Tower of God. It's air, it's water, it makes up most everything in this story. But more specific,
yeah, Shinsu is like your basic let's say if you've watched like an anime like with magic, like how magic is in the air and shit like that. That's basically Shinsu.
And more importantly, you can take Shinsu and turn it into different elements. So lightning and fire. The higher you climb in the tower, the thicker the Shinsu density is. So Leiroro creates this wall of Shinsu and says, you can't continue unless you pass through this wall. But the wall of Shinsu doesn't push away Bomb, because remember, he isn't bound by the same rules as everybody else. He chose to enter the tower, which is only something that 4 other named characters in this series have ever done. Those 4 characters being Rachel, she technically counts as one because she entered alongside
Rachel. Wait.
You have Enryu, you have Yurik, and you have Pentamina.
Okay. Rachel. Oh, so these are the 4 irregulars. Bomb is actually not a regular because he was actually chosen to actually enter the tower and climb the tower. It wasn't Rachel. It was Bomb.
We don't know exactly who these characters are in season 1, but they may be important.
Yeah, I definitely don't know who these 3 are. I don't remember. But I know who Rachel is.
We don't know exactly who these characters are in season 1, but they may be important later on. Eventually, they enter this optional test called the Crown Game. Whoever wins this gets to automatically go to floor number 3. And we meet some of our side characters. We meet Shimizu, who's a very comical but intelligent character. He's not very good at combat.
Shimizu reminds me of what is it? What's his name? I forgot. The guy from Mob Psycho, the teacher of Mob.
You meet Hotz, he's a swordsman, very noble, very just kind of personality. And we meet Anak, who has another of the 13-month series weapons, even though she isn't a princess. Once Anak finds out that Bomb has the Black March, she's willing to kill him to obtain it, but eventually after some interference from Leiroro, they make a deal. If Bomb wins the Crown Game, he can win the Green April, but if he doesn't win the Crown Game, he has to give up the Black March to Anak. At first, it looks like Bomb, Kun, and Rak are going to win until Rachel appears and Bomb ends up leaving the crown, leaving the throne to save her life, meaning that Bomb, Kun, and Rak lose the game. It's at this moment that we see a bit of Bomb's Shinsu go wild. In the anime, it's a bit different than the comic, but regardless, it's a bit of a special showcase of Bomb's skill, and he also takes out the eye of the person who is about to harm Rachel. She may be important later on. Maybe just a little bit.
Nah, she is. She definitely is.
Just a little bit. Yeah, the team that should have won the
spoilers. If you wanna, she was the one in the end of season 1. She was the one who found Bomb. But we're gonna get to that later.
Team, which also was made up of a guy named Ghost, this kind of hulking, huge, intimidating figure who.
Ghost is basically her second life. So if she dies, he's gone. She gets a second life.
Doesn't speak, and in Dorsey, who is actually a regular who's a princess of Jihad. However, they turn it down. They want to stick around for some unknown reason. The next few days are the positions test. Everybody is placed into a different role, a different position. I'll put them on screen here. They kind of just determine what kind of role you're going to fit for the team, and only a few people in each position are going to pass. So only
I don't get the roles too much.
During one of the fisherman tests, we learned that Anak is actually the daughter of a princess of Jihad. Princesses of Jihad are not allowed to get married. They're not allowed to have kids. They only exist for Jihad's purposes. And so Anak's mother, who his real name was Anak, ran away and had Anak before being killed by Jihad's army. So the Anak that we know is sort of a forbidden, kind of on-the-run, wanted half-princess. And she has her mother's Green April weapon. This plays a lot into Dorsey's character, especially as we're going to see later on, because she's somebody who outwardly seems to want to follow this law, be one of Jihad's sort of soldiers, right, and not have an entire life and romance of your own. But it's pretty clear throughout these scenes that she's debating it herself, whether or not she should also be someone to break these rules like Anak's mother. Bomb ends up waking up from his coma, and surprise, he's really good at using Shinsu, so he's put into the wave controller class. His teacher is definitely not sus, and a class is definitely not super jealous, and it's definitely not gonna matter whatsoever. It matters a lot. Ho is worried because Mom and Lauro, who's the sleepy guy, you all know the sleepy guy, right? They're both really good at Shinsu, and only 2 wave controllers are gonna pass, so Ho doesn't think he's gonna pass, but then someone sends him a letter that basically says, hey, I know the way that we can guarantee Bomb fails this test. Just take out Rachel. Rachel's the only reason he's climbing the tower to begin with, and so if she fails, Bomb is gonna give up. And so, Ho's scheming begins. We arrive at the hide and seek test, which is
It's crazy
the
what
final
jealousy
determining
does to
factor see
somebody.
which characters and which positions are gonna pass. This is the final chance to get like bonus points to see which characters are gonna pass their positions. And at first, Kuhn's team is doing really well. You've got Kuhn and Shibisu, who are both really intelligent. You have a Knock, all these characters that are really, really strong. But at the very end, it seems like all their plans fall through until we learn that Kuhn secretly, without telling a soul, he intentionally sabotaged the team so that Bomb's team could get an extra chance to get points. Kuhn is the top light bearer by far. Rack already passed because of this spear bearer rule. If you hit this far away target, you pass automatically, so he's good to go. And so Kuhn did everything he could to make sure that Bomb's team gets all the extra points. So now we get to see how Bomb's group is doing, and it's not looking good. And Dorsey starts attacking her own allies. She wants to guarantee her spot as a passing fisherman, and then Bomb finds out that Rachel has been taken hostage by Ho. He goes off to rescue her. Kuhn predicted part of this. He saw that Ho was acting weird, but only because he was told so by Hua Ryun, who was that character that attacked Rachel during the crown game, the red hair. For some reason, she was aware of this, told Kuhn, who then asked Dorsey to protect Bomb, and she does. With a little bit of help from Quant, Bomb is able to rescue Rachel, but not before Ho stabs her in the side. And with no other purpose, knowing that he's never going to be able to climb the tower
Kills
ever again,
himself.
he ends his own life. And Dorsey faces off against a handicapped Quant, and she ends up tricking him and winning the test for their team, earning them a ton of bonus points. All of our main characters end up passing, except for Serena. Rip Serena, we'll always remember you. Except
she gave up
because of her injury. Rachel is no longer
continued
able to
climbing
walk,
the tower.
But Bomb reveals himself as an irregular, and he does this because he hears from Han Sung-yu, the primary test giver of this floor, because Evan Kell is gone. He hears that only irregulars can sort of challenge the results of this with an extra special test designed only for irregulars. Han Sung agrees because
I feel like Han Sung already knew he was a irregular, in a way.
Was his plan. Sending a letter to Ho, making Bomb reveal himself as an irregular. It turns out that Han Sung is the antagonist of this season. Throughout this season, Bomb has proven himself as a bit of a shining light. He didn't grow up
Han
in
Sung
the
is
tower, this
cold.
bloody, horrible place with everybody else. He grew up in the cave. He's innocent and naive and pure. And so everybody is attracted to that. And so they all agreed to take this final test together to see if they can...
Everybody was attracted to that. They were just trying to protect his like innocence and everything.
Make Rachel climb the tower with them. Bomb's wave controller teacher reveals himself to be Ren, an assassin from Jihad's army, and the one who killed Anok's mother. He's there to kill Anok, this forbidden half-princess, but Yuri, the older elder princess of these three, and Dorsey, Anok, and Yuri, she
shows
arrives,
up.
she saves the day, obtains the Black March and the Green April. However, Ren escapes. This is something that wasn't in the anime, but he does escape. Who knows if he'll appear again? I don't know. And everything is going well until the bull, which was a creature controlled by Ren, it escapes into the location where Bomb and Rachel are. It looks dire, but the location where Bomb and Rachel are, it's very dense with Shinsu. And so Bomb is able to use this to fire a single bang into the mouth of the bull, killing it instantly. It's looking great. Oh my God, Bomb saved the day. He saved the day. Everything's going great.
No.
And then Rachel, she stands up, and then she pushes him. What? Rachel...
That's what I'm saying, dude. After all of that...
She shoves Bomb into the depths. Han Sung tells everyone that Bomb is super dead. And despite this, everybody agrees we'll climb the tower with Rachel anyway to honor Bomb. The ones who are most affected by Bomb's death are Kuhn, Rack, and Dorsey. Something the anime didn't really show was the connection.
Yeah, they didn't really show that.
And Bomb teaching Dorsey that loneliness is not the only recourse. It's okay to take a risk and to make friends with people that genuinely care about you. And so in Dorsey, she's pretty messed up by Bomb's death. This is gonna matter in season 2. They decide to help carry Rachel up to the top of the tower. She continues faking her paralysis, and it's
Yo, that shit makes me sick. Like, it makes me so sick watching her just walk around like everything's okay and everything's normal. And like she didn't do shit. Like
that Rachel the entire time watched Bomb on the first floor. She was in.
Bruh, you know what she want to do? She want to see some fucking stars. She want to see some fucking stars. So she betrays Bomb. Because she thinks Bomb is gonna get in her way of seeing those stars. That's crazy.
Shadows. She was afraid to do what Bomb was able to do, and she developed this resentment, this jealousy. And Hedon gave her just a little push. He told her, "What if you kill him?" What if you kill him? If I ask you to kill him, will you? Because if you do,
And she didn't hesitate. That's the crazy part. Oh my god.
you will be the heroine of this story. And then we cut to Bomb, who, surprise, he lives, and he's
Yep.
found by
A lot.
Hwaryun.
Right
Hwaryun
here.
and Han Sung-yu are a part of this organization called FUG. FUG is a cult anti-jihad organization that is recruiting people with potential. And so, Hwaryun says, I'll guide you up the tower, my god. And that's how season 1 ends. Oh, and Minoru quits, and then Quant gets fired. So we'll see if we ever see them again.
We probably will.
To know for Tower of God season 2. For people who only watch the anime, season 2 is when the story really starts. All of us manhwa readers, we consider season 1 to be the prequel. This is sort of when the story introduces the lore, the characters, and the concepts. But season 2 is when the real story.
I seen like I watched the trailer. I seen like this guy right here. I seen like a new.
The first couple arcs are about a new cast of characters centering around Wangnan and this mysterious figure named Viol. These are personally my favorite characters in the entire series.
Viol? Wait, so I thought that was what's it called? Viol.
The way that they're tied into the main story is absolutely peak. The release date for season 2 is July 7th, which is almost exactly
2 days ago.
a year after Tower of God's first appearance on Webtoon, which is so cool. Thank you so much
I'm
for
wondering
watching.
if I should. I might react to the second to season 2. It already came out. Episode already came out.
Let's freaking go.
All right, W video, man. Make sure you like and subscribe, and peace.